Power Rangers Ninja Storm for the Game Boy Advance, released in 2003. I actually played this game on my channel back in 2019, did a blind let's play of it, and I really enjoyed it. Well, it's been 2 years, and I decided to replay it again. Let's see what I think about it now. So anyways, last time in Wild Force, it was an isometric game. Well, in this time around, Ninja Storm is back to basics, a 2D beat 'em up with run and gun elements. Very interesting. And here is something that was exclusive for this game. This game actually has 3 different campaigns. You can play as the Ninja Storm Rangers, the Thunder Rangers, or the Green Samurai Ranger. We'll get to the 3 campaigns in just a second. You start the game slashing enemies, but quickly get a gun. So it becomes a run and gun game. So they decided to change it up. Instead of just a normal beat 'em up, it's a beat 'em up and run and gun. And for the most part, it worked kind of okay. The thing with the gun, though, is it makes bosses a complete joke. Look at the first boss. He can't do anything to me because I just keep shooting him. Throughout each level, there are also puzzles, especially in the first level, where you have to throw enemies around. This could be a little bit annoying, considering if you're equipped to the gun, you might accidentally start shooting the enemies instead of throwing them. Despite you start out at the Red Ranger, you could swap into the Blue Ranger or Yellow Ranger at any time, which is neat. The same thing with the Thunder Rangers. And just like every other Power Ranger game, they all have different abilities, so that's really, really nice. So now let's get to the 3 campaigns. You remember how I mentioned that there are 3 campaigns? Well, they're all the same. The only real difference is you get a different level perspective for the Thunder Ranger and the Green Samurai Ranger. That's literally it. Outside of that, it's pretty much the same game. But like I just mentioned, they do have different abilities, so it doesn't feel too monotonous. But it's disappointing that I wish we would have gotten exclusive levels for their campaigns instead of the same 5 levels. Now, there are only 5 levels, but it's nowhere near as short as Time Force, but it's definitely shorter than Wild Force. It could take up to about 50 minutes to beat this game because they're pretty damn long. Mainly because they throw a lot of enemies at you, and some bosses could take forever. But the real reason why this game could take a little bit long to beat is the Megazord battles, and this is by far the worst aspect of this game. Instead of the awesome Megazord battles from Wild Force, they decided to turn them into quick time events. Why in the hell they decided to do that, I have no idea. And it's awkward as hell. You would think you would just tap the B button, but no, you have to press up and B, down and A, down and B, you name it. And also finishing the enemy is really awkward. You have to jam the R button so you can do your finishing move. Actually read some comments throughout Ninja Storm, and people got stuck in these Megazord battles because it was never explained how to do them properly. They really should have did a better job explaining. Outside of the clunky Megazord battles, this is still a really solid game. Graphically, this game looks good, although the running animation for these Power Rangers are really awkward. They look like they weren't even finished. The music is also really, really good, and I think it's a step up from Wild Force. Despite the short length and the clunky Megazord battles, this is still a really damn good Power Rangers game. You'll be surprised at how much fun it is to shoot down enemies or slash enemies around. And the best part of all, and I forgot to mention, is you can also power up your guns and make them stronger, or power up your swords so you can do a little bit more combos. I really like the idea of switching out any Ranger at any time. That is really, really nice. So overall, Power Rangers Ninja Storm is really good and honestly one of the best Power Ranger games on the Game Boy Advance. However though, now we get into Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Oh boy. Okay, so Dino Thunder. Well, believe it or not, this game is actually technically not exclusive for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, it technically is because Natsume made it, but there was also a PS2 and GameCube version of Dino Thunder. There was an Xbox version planned, but it was canceled for some weird reason. But we're focusing on the Game Boy Advance version. The Game Boy Advance version, you could play as the Red Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and the Yellow Ranger. The Black Ranger just simply solves puzzles, and we'll get to that really soon. The White Ranger is the bad guy, but he turns good near the end, and you fight the main villain, etc., etc. I do apologize that I'm a little newbie with the stories, but that's because I haven't seen Dino Thunder, Ninja Storm, or eventually SPD, or even Wild Force. So I'm sorry about that. When you begin the game, you instantly think, okay, well, I just gotta beat up bad guys and that's all, right? Well, no. You have to solve puzzles throughout the entire game. And let me explain by this. Each level, you are given an objective. How many enemies you have to kill, destroy certain items, and make sure you eliminate all the enemies. And get ready, because you're going to be seeing these 5 levels again and again and again. Worst part of all, and this is going to be a trend going to SPD, we'll get to that soon, but in this game, you cannot play with any other ranger. If you're the Red Ranger, you have to be the Red Ranger. If you're playing as the Blue Ranger, you have to be the Blue Ranger for that level. If you're the Yellow Ranger, you have to play as the Yellow Ranger for that level. Why in the hell they decided to do this, I have no idea. And because of this, it instantly gets repetitive. Seriously, when I replayed this game, about 3 levels in, I was already getting kind of bored of it. You just master the exact same attacks again and again, going through the entire level and find the bad guys you gotta kill. And some of them can be downright evil. For example, some of the bad guys you have to kill, they're hiding in these crates. Then there are some that are hidden in windows. Then there are some that are disguised as human beings. The worst of all is the power plant level. Oh my god. There's this level where you have to destroy 11 valves. And dear Lord, they're everywhere. And the worst part of all, if you fall down, you have to start back at the section you were at again and again and again. It's just so damn tedious. Why are these levels so long? And the worst thing is, this game is long. At least with SPD, I'm gonna kind of spoil it, at least there's different levels, so although it is also really long, it doesn't feel that repetitive. But here, it's the same 5 stages, the same music, the same enemies, it just drags on. Also, having gone into the music, aside from the downtown theme, I actually think this is by far the weakest of the Game Boy Advance Power Ranger games when it comes to soundtrack. Seriously, there's just not good tunes in this game at all, aside from the downtown theme, which is good. Graphically, this game is fine, although once again, the running animation's a little weird. The Megazord battles are no longer QuickTime events, thank God. Instead, they're still a little clunky, but they can be pretty fun button mashers. Lastly, I forgot to mention the final boss. The final boss has 4 different phases. And the worst part of all, as I mentioned, you die, you have to do the last level all over again. Well, thankfully, it's not too long. But still, these phases are so damn annoying. There's one where you have to reflect a light of ball, very similar to the Ganondorf fight in Ocarina of Time. There's one where he's just teleporting around like if he's Montaro. He shoots lightning similar to Ivan Ooze in the Game Boy version of Power Rangers the movie. But once you beat him, the game ends. Thank God. There are passwords, and you're gonna need them because this is a pretty damn long game. In the end, I feel like Power Rangers Dino Thunder on the Game Boy Advance gets worse and worse every time I play it. It was a game I thought, for the most part, it was just okay. But now that I've been playing it for a while, it's just not really fun to play. I'm actually going to go as far as saying this may be one of the weakest of the Game Boy Advance games. I know, Time Force may be weak, but at least it's short as hell to the point it can be kind of fun. This game, though, is not really fun. I know there are people that really like Dino Thunder on Game Boy Advance. I'm just not really one of them. Well, that's it for this review. Next up is the final part. I want to talk about SPD and a little bit of Power Rangers Samurai on the DS. See you guys then.